Hi, I'm Chris and welcome to this week's tutorial. Let's draw together.
In this video, we're going to finish up our little cute birdie here. So with this cute and quick series, there are two parts. So part one is learning to draw this. Part two is right now when we're going to paint this. So we haven't completed part one first. I suggest you go back and look in the description below, and there is a link to the previous video so you can get all caught up. And I'm going to be using all the tools from the free Illustrator starter kit. So all the brushes, canvases, and swatches are included there, and you can find that also in the description below. There's a link there for you. So I have my living water canvas here. As you can see, it has a nice canvas texture. We've got our birdie all drawn and ready to go. So let's get to painting. I'm just going to start by merging these two layers together. I duplicated the layer before, so I'm just going to merge that if you're happy with that. You can also go ahead and get rid of your sketch layer as well. That's fine. So we're just going to create a new layer and drag that below, and so we can paint on that. Okay, so let's just go look at our brushes. So this is the Illustrator starter kit, all the brushes that are included. If you go down to where you find the cute character class, these sample brushes here, you can just select the oil paint. And I'm going to just select yellow here. So let's just select this one here. And I'm actually going to bring this up and make it a little bit lighter. So up and to the left. So we'll just use this palette sort of as a starter and go from there. So just up and to the left, so it's a little bit of a lighter yellow, something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to simply fill this in. Keep it sketchy. It doesn't have to all be perfect. Just have your brush so it's easy enough to fill in. And then I'm going to just bring it down, maybe a 3 or something, just to get into this area here. Whatever fits, so you can get this tail filled in. All right. Then I'm just going to drag the dot over to the right, just so it becomes a little bit more orangey, sort of halfway through. You can just color in the beak there, a little brighter orange. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to create a clipping mask on top. So just hit that plus sign, tap on that layer, and select clipping mask. That'll make a little arrow down to the solid fill below. That way, whatever we paint on this layer will be contained to that shape that we painted in. So we can go ahead and get this pink. And let's use the soft charcoal shader that you find in the daily practice lessons. And I don't know, have around 16 or something, maybe even bigger, maybe in the 30s. Just gently, I'm just doing little circles. Gently dust that in, maybe a little bit darker down below. And that way, see, we only contain within this shape. So that's what's nice about clipping masks. I can use this lighter pink. Put a little bit lighter in there, just to change it up a little bit. Let's get this light purple. Maybe bring the size down a little bit to 15 or so. Let's just dust this wing here. I'm using really light pressure. We go and grab that dark purple. Just a little bit of pressure there. Okay, great. Maybe it'll put a little purple in here too. I'm gonna add some more color there. Then let's get this sort of burnt color here underneath. We're just layering these colors, they kind of create new colors. Just have that tail a little darker. I'm actually going to bring this smaller, maybe to 7, just sort of almost create like a little shadow underneath the wing. Maybe a little bit color around her eye here. Just underneath. Just going to put a little bit here just so it starts to have more of a round shape. Just a light shadow on that end, but mostly underneath. Okay, that looks good. Now let's just create a new layer and bring that all the way below the bird, and we'll do our branch. So let's just pick this lighter brown color. We can go back and use that oil paint. See if it gets small enough. Yep, it should do. So I have it, fairly like at 1%. So whatever kind of fits in what you've drawn. Actually, I might even have to go all the way down just to get in there, depending on how thin you did these branches here. Okay. Then I'm going to get this light green here. Let's see, do I want a green or maybe I want them different colors? It could be interesting too. Actually, let's just start with a lighter green. This is at 2% just to get in here. Just kind of have just keep it fairly light and just scratch it in here. Maybe we'll bring some other colors together with it. Okay, then I'm just going to bring in, let's see, what would be nice. Maybe let's try this pink here. It's sort of a warmer pink. I'm just going to see if I like that. Just in some areas, just simply just scratching, just rubbing it in a bit. Let's see. I won't do every single one because I'll bring in another color maybe. Okay. Now what about this yellow here? Let's see if that will be. I think it's just kind of adding a little bit more to this instead of just doing flat green. Just kind of play around with it. Just want to see what happens. Now maybe this purple, the darker one, kind of fill in where we haven't put much paint on. I just wonder if that's a little, well, no, you kind of need a little bit, maybe not too much purple. Just seeing how much it competes. That's why I say that I put a lot. Let's just have a little bit of touch here and there. Okay. Oops. Okay, and then let's go back to this sketcher here, the sketching pencil hard in the cute character class area. And I'm just trying to think what would balance. Probably the pink, I think. Might want to have the pink with a little bit of orange here. Let's just see if that's a good balance of colors. Just to color in these little berries. Yeah, I think so. Complements the green. Kind of has that contrast. And there's enough of it here so that there's enough echo in the rest of it. It keeps this nice and balanced. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so maybe a little bit of orange too. Just want to put a little, I'm not sure how much actually that's going to show up, to be honest. But I might dull it down to, not have it too electric pink. Have a look. Okay. Might want to just put a little bit more on this branch here. I wonder if I brought in the purple. I'm still with this sketch. Actually, maybe I'll go back to the, actually even better, try the rough sketcher with the purple. And let's just sort of make it like there's a shadow. Again, the cool colors recede, so blues and purples are good colors for shadows. So have that underneath. This makes it a little bit more alive. All right, I'm tempted to duplicate this layer. Maybe not. Almost halfway in between, we can play with these. I think that's too bold. Maybe to duplicate it and just bring down the opacity. Let's just see. Just bumps that up just a touch more. Maybe just a little bit less here. Oops. Maybe to about 20%. Just gives it a little bit more. Okay, so I think we're ready for just a few final little touches. If you want, this is more of, more of a pastel-y sort of crayon-y sort of style right now. If you want to go a little bit more illustrative, in my opinion, that's what this kind of looks like if we add white. So just go get pure white and back to the sketching pencil hard, and we can just add a few little details here and there. Not sure if that would look, maybe just a little bit of a line there. A little highlight on the nose. Maybe we'll just accent these little leaves, or not leaves, feathers. There we go. Just kind of close to where that line is. Actually, I kind of want to still have that like that. And we can go and put a little highlight on these. You could, if you wanted to, I'm not sure if I like this look, but have the lines there. I think I kind of want it like a little bit more simple this time. I think it kind of works. Just having it just like that. And then you can put little highlights on these berries too. Just a dot. And if I forgot to mention what I think I did, just make sure that this layer is at the very top. Sorry, I may have not mentioned that. You can do a little bit on the twig here. And I think that's looking pretty good. So you're welcome to play with your layers if you want to make that layer even darker, even more bold. That's, could look good too. And again, you can change the opacity of it a little bit. You can go and I'm just going to create another layer. Use this brown, go back to the rough sketcher. If you want to make them even more fluffy, a little bit more fluffy and a little bit more shading, have that grit here. I kind of like that look on this little bird too. So a little bit fluffier. I'm just doing short dashes. Kind of have that fuzzy look. Depends on what you're going for. Okay, and I think he's done. He or she, not really sure, but there we go, a little birdie all finished. So that was part 2 of our 2-part series for this little bird. And if you like doing these little illustrations, I have a course actually that this little bird is in, and it's a multitude of other little animals and creatures that we go through and put together, and it's called the Pretty Little Daily Practice Lessons, and we walk through how to create all these cute little characters and put them together like a puzzle into a scene. So that will be linked below as well if you're interested in checking those out. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you'll be notified of new tutorials just like this coming soon. So love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.